All right, Maxout July 2019 Team Challenge. Associate promotion, 10,000 points, BBC 10, or 20 BPM guests. Now, you are not going to get any of these qualifications done if you are not prospecting. And what do I mean by prospecting? I have a whole training on that, done that already. For folks who have not seen that training, hit me up and then we can set up some time for you to see the training. But everyone else should have seen the training at this point. So this is max out. This is not going over the basics. So the assumption is you know how to prospect, right? So now, what is the max out version of prospecting? Max out version of prospecting is how do we get the numbers that we need very quickly in a short period of time, right? So just a quick refresher of prospecting, creating a list, it's making a friend, and man, have fun doing it, right? It's not trying to necessarily get somebody to a BPM or anything like that. Just get to a point where you have the person's number, and then we can figure out how to approach and contact them later and do all that. Just get the number. That's the main thing. Get the person's number, and you want to get the number of someone who you feel some sort of connection with. You talk to them, you see there's some value there. Um, that is worth our time. We're not looking for projects for people to save. We're looking for people who have enough working in their life where we can really support them and taking things to the next level. That's what we're looking for, right? Whether that be a recruit or a client, right? So the natural market are people that you know. That's also called your warm market. People that you know, people you went to school with, people that you worked with. That's basically your natural market. People that you know and seen in person directly, right? Friendship farming, that's when we meet someone new and we need to build a relationship. Also, friendship farming is folks that you have been out of touch with. It's just about growing the relationship from where it is to where it needs to be so it's a little bit warmer. The whole point is we work with warm market referrals and we work with people that are on warm market. So if you have someone you don't know, you have to get them warm, and once they become warm, then you can work with them. So we want to do that as quickly as possible. So if they're already warm, it doesn't take much to make them warmer. If they're cold, it's going to take you time, right? So we work with warm market. So we take them from wherever they are to warm market, then we work with them. Then we can apply the system to them. Professional networking, folks who are already in the business, um, who already have a business or are business minded, people that you know maybe business minded and you're not aware of it because you just know them as having a job or you know them from social situations. The number one way to find out if someone is a professional, outside of knowing what they do for a living, is asking them if they have a side hustle or a business that you may not be aware of. You can literally just send people that message. You can text them a message, say, "Hey, listen, I was just thinking, do you have a side hustle or business?" And then they're going to tell you. Now, the trick is if they have that mindset, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the mindset. That person's already dissatisfied with whatever they got going on, which is who we're looking for. We're looking for people who are not comfortable. If you're comfortable, we're not interested in you. We're looking for people who are dissatisfied. And if you have a side hustle or a business, you're definitely dissatisfied because if you're satisfied, you wouldn't need a side hustle or a business. Clear? Right? So your friends and family fall into this category. So some of them you may have done a help me script with in the past or something of that nature. Come help me. And they're like, nah, we don't want to help you. But if you come to them with, hey, do you have a business or a side hustle? And you approach them from a new direction, you can go to those same people that you spoke to before and they'll listen to you differently. You cannot come to them, the people that you spoke to already, with the same conversation. You have to come with a different conversation. And the most powerful conversation that I've seen that works consistently is asking them if they have a side hustle or a business. Okay? When they tell you they do, you have to basically say, wow, I want to know more about that business so we can see if there's a way that I can support you. Like, what do you need? Do you need resources? Do you need support? What can we do to help you in your business? How can I support you? You have an event. Where's the next event? Can I come show up and support you? You have to give before you ask. When you give, they're going to naturally ask, right? but you have to give first. You have to show them support and love, and they're gonna be like, wow, someone wants to support me. Because most people in business don't get support from people they know. So when you come with that energy, you come with that conversational thread, they're gonna be more receptive to you. They're gonna be more willing to hear what you have to say. So you have to do that with as many people as possible. And also, it makes it easier to have the conversation about what we do from a business perspective because you're talking to somebody who is operating on that wavelength. You don't have to try to convince them about a business and needing a business, right? Um, the other thing you should be using is social media. Social media is so powerful because it's already a list. Your followers, your friends, they're a list. But how you use social media is very important. You use social media to get intel, to get information about people. We're looking for macho. Look if they have kids. Look if they got married. Look if they got engaged. Look if they're talking about their business. You got a lot of information there. You don't have to be asking them 50 questions. Just take a look at the pictures, look at the videos, look at their posts. Do some research on the person you're going to talk to before you talk to them. The number one thing you need to do is you need to make sure that they live in your area. They have to live in traveling distance from your office. They should be close because you want them to eventually come to the office if they're a recruit or a client. So it shouldn't be a big issue, or if you need to meet them in person. Don't go recruit somebody out in Georgia at this stage, right? Or some other state. If that happens to happen, that's an expansion. We could take care of it. But that's not where you should be primarily focusing your energy. You need to be building your agency where you're located, okay? So you should be focused on building your base shop, which is the physical office space that you're going to training into, okay? So that's how you use social media. And social media is to tap into natural markets. And also you can make new friends that may have common interests and grow it that way. Here's what you need to be doing. You need to be doing 5 to 10 new prospects a day. Meaning, what I mean, you need to have a list. You need to always have a top 100 list, a list of the people, and you need to keep that filled by adding 5 to 10 a day. You need to be prospecting as you go, and you need to get 5 people you do not know, so brand new people that you're meeting, whether it be you meeting them at social events that you didn't know before, maybe your friends knew them, you knew of them, but those people that you see at supermarkets, people that you see at businesses that are there, you need to meet 5 new people a day. And you also need, and whatever medium you want to use, whether it be in person, I think that's the best one, social media, whatever. The whole goal is to meet 5 people you don't know. Then you need to get in communication and contact with 5 people that you already know. Pull out your yearbook. Pull out, think about events you've been to. Look up concerts that and artists that you're interested in. Go into groups, right? Find 5 people you already know and get into contact with them. It's going to be easier to work with people you already know and they know you than strangers. It takes time, right? But you need both because you need to get into different markets, right? Like I said, you need to create a top 100 list. You need to use social media as a tool to build the list. It's very easy with social media. Use Trello to track your progress. You have to track your progress. You have to inspect what you expect. And you have to have a system to help other people who are working with you because you're in a business for yourself but not by yourself. So you need to give a transparent way for other people to help you with certain parts of your growth in the business. You don't know everything yet. Most of you guys are training associates, so you're still in training. So you need to allow us, the folks who are certified, who are not training associates, folks who are a little bit more seasoned, to be able to help you grow to the next stage, right? So we need the tools to help support that, and also supports growth and duplication down the line, right? So Trello is what we use as a team to help do that, and you need to start using it like on a daily basis. You need to really, really do that. Okay? So here's how we get it done very quickly. Professional prospect friends and family who may have side businesses or hustles you may not know about and offer to support them. The more you give, the more you'll receive. And I'm going to show you an example of how I do that and do it online and offline. So let me show you how I do it online. So first, I'm on Facebook, but you can use whatever medium you want to use. You can use LinkedIn or whatever. But I go to the friends list, right? And then I find people who are in my area, right? First. So I'm starting with people I know, which is usually my friends list. So there's somebody I spoke to earlier today. So this guy, I know he owns Dance and Fitness Studio. I know he owns like co-owns a thing, something called Foxy Fitness. We went to high school together. I went to Brooklyn Tech. Um, he was a few years younger. We knew of each other, um, but we're two different grade levels. But we're Facebook friends. So I know as Facebook friends, he may be looking at stuff that I'm posting, and then I'm also checking out. He posts. He posts relatively often, right? So that let me know that he's active. So if I message him, he'll reply very quickly. So that's a good thing to note as well. Look at how often people post and how recently. The more recent and often, the better chances you're going to have if you talk to somebody online to prospect them. So he and I, 2014, we haven't really spoken much, but I sent him a message today because I am prospecting. So I said, hey, Virgil, he didn't respond. So I said, so that doesn't mean anything. You have to send him a message that matters. So this is the one that I recommend you use and copy. I like to get to the point. I can connect it to the business stuff, or I can just, spend more time farming. Like, hey, we haven't spoken in a long time. How you been? What you been up to? And I could farm him a little bit more. But I know he's already business minded. He has a business. He's professional. And sometimes I just send this out to see where people are at, right? So this is what I recommend using. You can use this emoji or not, but the emojis are especially better when you're texting and doing stuff on social media to convey emotion. So I said, hey, Virgil, I was like, I'm thinking, would it be a ridiculous idea to put our heads together? I'm recording and figure out ways to make money together. I'm recording. So now what's up? So him saying no means that no, he does not think it's a ridiculous idea, which is basically a yes. So I'm getting a yes in the no form, right? Said, no, what's up? So told him, hey, I'm looking at opportunities to support, collaborate, and potentially partner with more business-minded folks in the network. Then I go right into a question. What's normally the best time? So now I'm trying to set the appointment, right? So he gave me afternoon, he gave me the number. Sometimes people don't give you the number. You have to ask, what's the best number to reach you on? Sometimes you have to go like, they say afternoon. You might say, okay, what's, give them two options. 4 or 5 o'clock works best for you, and they'll give you the time. So you might have to keep asking a couple of questions so you actually get the time, the day, and the number, right? In this situation, he was very receptive to what I was saying. He threw the number at me. He threw out a time. The time happened to work. So I said, okay, looks like I'm available then as well. We'll give you a call. Boom, right? I have an appointment set. It was like within minutes, right, from the first message. So I have one set. So now I got to get 4 more for the day from people I know, and then I'm going to go into groups and get 5 more from people I don't know, make new friends, right? Then what do I do with that? So I add him to the calendar as a 15-minute call. So when I do the 15-minute call, I'm basically setting the agenda. When I call him, I say, hey man, I just wanted to, a small talk for 15 seconds. Hey, how you doing? Doing good. Listen, let me just get right to it. I know we don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to just expand more on what I was talking about in the Facebook message. So I just want to set the agenda for the call. So you have to set the agenda. So basically, what I'm thinking is that, I'm just looking to learn more about what it is people are doing. I want to learn more about what you're doing so I have a better sense of if there's opportunities for me to support in terms of providing resources or referrals, or maybe there's an opportunity to put our heads together and collaborate and partner on something. But I think we can figure out a way to make some money together. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm open, right? I know what I'm working on. I can always share that, but I first want to start off by hearing what you're up to and what you got going on. He's gonna cool. He's gonna tell me everything. I'm just gonna listen, be quiet, let them talk, right? Unless they ask you a question. Sometimes people say I don't have anything going on. What you got going on, right? Then you can start to share because they gave you permission to share. But you always want to start off by asking what they got going on first, because when you give, you get, right? It's the law of reciprocity. So that's what I'm going to do on the call. My goal for the call is to set up another appointment where we can meet in person and I can share more about what it is that I'm up to and connect on a more intimate level, like to connect in person. So that could be a BPM, that could be a one-on-one in the office, that can also be meeting him in his office or meeting at a neutral spot like a Starbucks or something like that that's in a nice area. So the goal of the 15-minute call is to set an appointment where I can get into a place where I can do a presentation. Okay? So that is the purpose of the 15-minute call. Everything we're doing is to get them to the point where we can do a presentation in the minimal amount of time possible. So I booked them in the morning, like I told you yesterday in the video, and then I scheduled him for a quick call in the afternoon, and I'm trying to get him to some sort of presentation within 24 to 48 hours after this 15-minute call. The more people you have doing that in a short period of time, so if you prospect 20 people, you'll have 20 people in that pipeline. Then within 2 to 3 days, you'll have enough people who have seen the information and they'll tell you whether they want to be a customer, they're interested in learning more about the business, or they're looking to come on board. But you have to get enough people in front of the information for them to make a decision. Our job is to not convince them. Our job is to bring them to a point where they get the information and they can make a decision and be clear as to how we're gonna work together. And still help them with their business and everything, but our main goal is to get them to that information. All right? So that's basically it. And then now I have him. So everyone should have a board that says whatever your name is, prospects. It should have a prospects list, in progress, requires follow-up, appointment schedule, reschedule. It should have some sort of structure like this, right? So usually we put a template, and I'm going to create a card for him. So I hit copy. So here's, let me get his number. I have Rosalind on it. I'm going to put myself on it. I'm going to put a due date of today at the time for the meeting. And every time I have a new meeting or I need to follow up, I just set the date and the time. You always have to put people on it. If you want to have, it's not right. So it's copy. And then Virgil Avery. That's his phone number. Checklist, you want to bring those over. Members, bring those over. It's usually me and Rosalind on it as members, so we can see what's going on. I added this part. I need to get his email address. Put his phone number there. How we met in high school. A few years younger than me. So some information so people can figure out how we know each other. Owns a couple of businesses. And also how I prospected him on ways we can collaborate to make money between our businesses. So it's clear how I prospected him. Also some good qualities: a smart guy, he's business savvy, he's focused, right? If you know 3 good qualities, that's very useful for anyone who has to call him, right? So now we have this set up. Oh, wait, what the hell? Is that the template? Uh-oh. Hey. Messed up the template. All right, put the template back, move that up to the top, and save. So his date is today at 4:30. So we want to know some of the hot buttons. We'll learn this in the 15-minute call. I'll find out some more, but I know he's at least 25. I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has kids. He has a solid career background. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think so. Find out some more, right? See if he's a good candidate. That's it. So that's how we add him. So he's in progress. All right. Then I'll provide an update to you guys on this. But that's how you do it. That's how you max.